Though it is fun to take the piss out of the AAA industry for being the prissy jock that copies off of the kids sitting next to them, you're having a bloody laugh if you're thinking indie games are any better. Pixel graphics, roguelite, story-driven, dying world. These aren't words to me anymore. They're just ambient noise as mundane to me as oxygen or water or the distant screaming that no one else can hear. Dead Cells, however, embraces all of these tropes and runs the Boston Marathon with them because holy shit, this game blew me away. It's everything you could want in a video game. Combat, weighty. Art style, lovely. Soundtrack, slappin'. It's the Dreads or My Hero Academia of roguelites. It's nothing particularly unique or groundbreaking. It's just a really fucking solid example of the genre. Yeah, see, that's how you do comparisons, bitch. Actually, that's rather churlish of me. There is one unique aspect. This lad. He's not actually the protagonist. It's actually the magic parasitic slime that's infected and hijacking his rotten beheaded corpse. Scrumptious. Besides that, there's not really much else you can infer about the story, besides the fact that things are going about as well as you can expect from worlds where magic parasitic slime are infesting and hijacking rotten beheaded corpses. You find scripts and scraps of story elements along the way to piece together what happened, you know, plague, tyranny, zombies, the usual communist stuff. I'm glad they don't go too much further into it than that, because in this kind of game, less is indeed more. I want to use my imagination, because my imagination is pretty damn sexy. I'm imagining you naked right now. Unless we're related. In that case, sorry for not calling. Also, you're not underage, are you? The story's not what's important here. It's merely the toffee drizzle atop the delicious creme brulee. And the professor rolls is the combat. It's just so god fucking fun. There's swords. There's two swords. There's big swords. There's even a shoe. Wait. Hold the presses. I do have confirmation here. There is indeed a second shoe. That's too much. Turn the video off. There's so many little details as well that add so much to the experience, like the plunging attack and the mutations and the skills and the progression system that actually values your fucking time. So if you play the game enough, the game just kind of gives up and says, yeah, you don't have to start every run with shitty beginner weapons. You can start with a real weapon, fuck it. Which just for that alone, game of the year every year. Thank you. Thank you. Also, the doors are surprisingly complex. What could you possibly have to say, doors? What are your political opinions? You can either just open the door, so if the enemies are too much for you, you can then close the door and do a runner like the two-legged pussy you are. Or you can find out that the enemy behind the door is child porn, so you can pull an FBI and bust through the door and the enemy is stunned because they didn't have enough time to wipe their hard drives. And it's a very nice little detail I do appreciate. The graphics is so smooth. I know pixels are old hat at this point, but I'm like 60% sure this game was 3D animated and they just slapped on a pixel filter just so they wouldn't get bullied at the Indie Games Cool Kids Club because it's just so smooth. It's so flowy. Okay, no more fun now. This is the part where I have to start hating everything just so people think that I'm interesting. But joke's on you. I actually just hate everything that you like. Yes. You specifically. You're not neurotic, no. I just live to invalidate your opinions on fictional media. I watch you in your sleep. Alright, nitpicks. The freeze attacks are the most broken thing since this table. The boss fights are less of a test of skill and more of a test of whether or not you have a freeze weapon or not. A lot of the mutations are just comically worthless. Receive a damage boost whenever you're not near an enemy. Are you off your fucking head? Do you buy a scuba suit to prepare for your trip to Alice Springs? Alright, what else? Shields. Lovely gesture, very quaint, but in this game about murder, I'd rather take the more direct approach, but you know, thank you for offering. This part of the game can just fucking commit die. Lastly, the character design for the main guy is just appalling. If I was the marketing guy for this game and they'd showed me that, I'd have slapped them across the tits. It's abysmal. Good character design doesn't come from complexity or how much it looks like if Goku was a ninja. It comes from recognizability and telling a story. I mean, just look at Mr. Bindy Isaac over here. If it was any less complex, he'd be a fucking stick figure. But just by looking at his face, what story is he telling? Let's see, well, big eyes, a sign of innocence, tears, a sign of fear and abuse, he's naked, a sign of vulnerability, The funny Fez when he's playing as Judas, a sign that Ed really fucking hates Phil Fish. But what can you tell about this guy? Nothing! There's nothing, because there's nothing there! Well, besides the fact that you're wearing similar armor to the soldier lady at the start of the game, indicating that the last scraps of resistance to whatever blight has befallen this land are so desperate that they've rejected their humanity by desecrating the bodies of their fallen brothers in arms with the dark arcane force that they can barely comprehend because it's the last vestige of hope that these people have left in this losing battle for survival. Okay, maybe there's a little bit there. I'm just upset at the character design because it lacks that mimetic quality that's given things like Sonic the Hedgehog or 6ix9ine a free pass. I like the game. I like the man's cheeky attitude. I like when you kick the man's and the man's go splat. It's a bollock loads of fun, and that's my final words on the matter. Biggle Snatch.